Hello, my name is David Forth, and I am going to talk about video games today. It's incredible how much video games have become part of our normal life. When you look at your friends and they're playing video games on a PlayStation, an Xbox, or maybe even a PC, do you ever wonder, I wonder how many hours they actually have been playing? It's interesting to note that video games are a reflection on our own human personalities, particularly in adolescence. Often, video games reflect a person's personality. I find a great interest how the art and the animations I create as an artist in this field affect my audience. Today I will discuss how video games affect the human personality in adolescence, interpersonal relationships, and the ways people use them to cope in modern society. First, let's begin by discussing how the video games reflect the emotions of most of the unpredictable class of human, the teenager. Games are an important part of an adolescent's life. During these developmental years, video games are problem solving tools and can help adolescents as they are handling their transition into adulthood. Studies have shown that the mediation role of normal beliefs about aggression and factors such as gender, prior aggression, and parental monitoring are part of what is learned through video games. Teens also shape their personalities and social relationships by using online gaming. The depth of a teen's gender within this says a lot about who they are. Nearly 8 in 10 online player teens, 78%, say they feel more connected to their existing friends when they play games with them. For teen boys, this is especially true. 84% of boys who play network games say they feel more connected with friends when they play, compared with 62% of girls. I have discussed so far how video games are useful for developing teenagers. And now I will discuss what video games say about the populace in general. The video games that we play can often help us shape our interpersonal relationships. More often than not, we use the subject of a popular video game as an icebreaker when meeting new people. Now, to some well-meaning parents, video games, well, they look like they're a waste of time, a waste of childhood. The games that they had didn't have controllers, keyboards, screens, or a headset. In this case, the headset is key. Although the players are physically isolated, they're spending time with their friends, the same way that people do when they talk to one another on a phone. 77% of boys play online video games with friends at least once a month. So what do gamers talk about? 2 researchers studied this exact idea in 2006. They looked at over 5,800 teenagers, and what they were saying was interesting. Social emotional messages are ones that helped players connect, such as thanks for the help, Yeah, I agree with you. And wow, that was funny. People deliberately use specific online games as a deciding factor in the person they are forging their relationship with. Online games are safe spaces for people with some life ills. Sometimes people who are not completely able to be present in person. Maybe someone who's handicapped. There's also evidence to suggest that video games can be a safe place to experiment with social interactions for vulnerable people. These include people with autism spectrum disorders, people with insecure attachment styles, those who unreliable relationships early in life may have led to a feeling of mistrust in most social situations, shy people, people with depressive symptoms, and people with social anxiety. A second study showed that people were nearly accurate with assessing someone's openness, value of imagination, and worldview by simply listening to them during online sessions. So far, I have explained how people use video games in interpersonal relationships. And now I'm going to explain how they use video games for themselves. Depending on the personality, people use different types of video games in different ways. A more intellectual person may use the gaming experience for stimulation rather than emotion. A study featured in an article from the relation of violent video games to adolescent aggression showed that these individuals are more open to new experiences. An introverted person is more likely to experience a video game for emotional reasons. This kind of person may be more likely to play video games to regulate their own emotions. The study shows that these people tend to be more emotionally unstable than the extroverted person. In conclusion, today I've discussed how video games affect the human personality in adolescence, interpersonal skills, relationships, and the ways people use them to cope in modern society. Gaming is a way for people to find out about others they are interacting with. For others, it is a way to express emotions such as happiness or frustration. As a game developer, I find this fascinating. So the next time you play a video game, don't hesitate to think about how their game choices mirror their personality. Thank you very much.